turned that camera on? Where the hell's my futon? Whatever.
Hello, Oni.
Yeah!
So, ready for the review?
Yeah! Totally! 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 Not really.
Really? Took you 5 years and you still got nothing, eh?
I've been busy.
With what? Complaining about wrestling?
Hey, what I do with my time is none of your fucking business.
Whatever, let's figure this out.
Alright already. Shouldn't be that hard. Let's find something we both like.
Outside of Wrestle City Gamers, I don't care about wrestling. So that's out.
And I hate Rye Guy.
Is it because he hasn't paid you back for the gun to be destroyed?
And the roof of my apartment being destroyed.
In any case, let's figure this out.
Yeah, we need something we both like, Mega Man boy.
That's a great idea. And given your review show, it's appropriate.
Oh, you mean Snack Attack?
No, not that one. You can't eat Mega Man.
Well, you're right. But I still think we can get that E-Tank drink on Amazon.
Stay on target, Oni.
Right. The arcade room!
There you go.
And I know what 2 games to do. Mega Man the Power Battle and Mega Man 2 the Power Fighters.
Wait, you actually have those games?
Sadly, not anymore. I used to have the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, though, on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube a long time ago. But I do remember those games, and I love them very much, and I played them fondly. So that might help a little bit.
You know what? I'll take it. Mega Man the Power Battle was released in Japanese arcades in September of 1995 and in October everywhere else. Not much is known about the game's history or development, except that it was developed around or after Mega Man 7, which makes sense as it borrows quite a few assets from that game.
The plot revolves around Dr. Wily rebuilding some of his past robots to help him take over the world, and it's up to Mega Man, Proto Man, and Bass to stop him. Basically everything you were doing since Mega Man fucking 1, but in arcade form.
Power Battle starts off with selecting a character and a scenario, of which there are 3 to choose from. Each character has a similar set of moves with a buster that can be charged up, a slide or dash that can be performed by holding down and jump, and a jump which can go higher by holding the button down. Mega Man controls pretty much how he did in Mega Man 7. Proto Man and Bass control similarly, however the main difference is they dash instead of slide. Proto Man actually uses his shield when dashing, which is a nice touch, though it doesn't do anything to protect him. And Bass uses rocket propulsion to dash even further. Overall, each character controls and plays a bit the same, so it doesn't really matter who you use.
Each scenario offers a different selection of Robot Masters. The Mega Man 1 and 2 scenario adds Cutman, Gutsman, Iceman, Crashman, Heatman, and Woodman. The 3 to 6 scenario adds Magnaman, Gemini Man, Dustman, Gyro Man, Napalm Man, and Plant Man. Fucking Plant Man. Finally, the Mega Man 7 scenario adds Freeze Man, Junkman, Cloud Man, Slash Man, Shade Man, and Turbo Man. Each mode also has Wily Tower Boss with the Yellow Devil in the first 2 scenarios and Van Pookin in the 7th scenario. All scenarios lead to a battle with Wily that has 3 forms. The last form, which is the Wily Pod, is actually optional as you're given only a count of 10 to beat it, though it's just for bonus points. Basically, you got until the count of 10 until the match is thrown out.
Really, dude? Wrestling logic? In a Mega Man fighting game?
Listen, you're in my world now, bitch, so you're gonna shut up and like it.
Don't make me get the wrestle jar.
Look, it's my show, my rules. The weapon system from the main series returns as defeating each boss unlocks a special weapon that is a weakness of another Robot Master. Use it sparingly though, as like the main games, each weapon has a set amount of energy. However, the energy from the weapons refills at the start of each stage or after dying. Speaking of, this game has unlimited continues, provided you have enough quarters to keep playing, and yes, it's unlimited in the ports in the Anniversary Collection.
Probably my favorite aspect of the game is the co-op. Yes, you can play with a friend on every scenario. It makes sense seeing as this game is mostly just a boss rush and doesn't have any platforming stages like the main series. While it's not a long game, all 3 scenarios can be beaten in around a half an hour. It certainly makes up for it in gameplay, as well as the endings, but we'll save those for later.
Like we said earlier, Power Battle borrows heavily from Mega Man 7, reusing many of the sprites such as our main heroes, Van Pookin and Dr. Wily's head. However, a lot of new sprites were made as well, such as the backgrounds and Robot Masters. It's refreshing to see some of my favorite 8-bit robots reimagined in a 32-bit style. And keep in mind, this was over a year before Mega Man 8. The game also is very colorful and has smooth animations, taking advantage of the hardware of Capcom's CPS2 arcade board technology.
The music consists mostly of rearranged tracks from previous Mega Man games with a few new tracks thrown in. Honestly, it's one of the best sounding soundtracks in the series, and that's a tall order considering how fantastic music in Mega Man games is. I actually use music from this game in the Hunter Base podcast. Sound effects also sound really great, with the worst being the charging sound. Luckily, it's not too annoying. There's also a little bit of voice acting, though it's mostly left to sounds of our heroes getting hit or firing their Mega Busters. All in all, Power Battle is a fun and simple Mega Man experience. Highly recommended, especially if you enjoy Mega Man boss rushes.
Also, if you got a bad day, it's a good choice for a good stress relief. Mega Man 2 The Power Fighters is a much improved sequel to the first game and has many notable additions. It was developed alongside Mega Man 8, but was released about 4 months before it in August of 1996. The game is also notable for being the introduction of Duo, whose story would get more fleshed out in Mega Man 8. While the Power Battle had 3 story scenarios based on different games in the series, aka Mega Man 1 through 2, Mega Man 3 through 6, and Mega Man 7, the Power Fighter still has 3 choices, but the Robot Masters have been spread across the 3 different scenarios instead of going by which game they were in. Those 3 are Search for Wily, that was a huge duh, Rescue Roll, and Recover the New Parts. With the Parts one, you can get it on scenarios 1 and 2. I don't know why you would have it as a 3rd scenario.
Search for Wily has you up against Shadow Man, Plant Man, Gyro Man, Centaur Man, Bubble Man, and Heat Man. Rescue Roll has Cut Man, Stone Man, Shade Man, Elect Man, Dive Man, and Slash Man. Finally, Recover the New Parts contains Guts Man, Pharaoh Man, Air Man, Quick Man, Gemini Man, and Napalm Man. Each scenario also has a unique Wily Tower boss with Mad Roller in Search for Wily, the Yellow Devil in Rescue Roll, and the Mech Dragon in Recover the New Parts. Finally, you face off against the Wily Machine, which is
a floating head,
followed by the same optional Wily Pod battle.
Adding to the mix of Mega Man, Proto Man, and Bass is the newcomer Duo. This basically takes place after Mega Man 8, if you want the sumbitch to be considered canon. Which reminds me, why not have some of the Robot Masters from 8? I guess it was cutting close to the end of the development cycle.
On top of a new playable character, the Power Fighters adds numerous gameplay changes. For the most part, the control and gameplay are the same, with new features such as the Super Jump, which you do by holding up and jump, and boss weakness hints on the stage select screen. Said weapon weaknesses causing bosses to freeze for a moment when it's effective. Weapons work like they did in the last game, however in co-op, the weapon is awarded to the player who collects the boss's orb at the end of the fight, adding a slight bit of competition. Like when my brother and I would dash across the screen to see who would get the orb first, and unlock the weapon. Presentation is on par with the previous game, with some notable improvements. The graphics and art are just as, if not more so colorful and detailed as Power Battle. On top of that, the game adds in more cutscenes, however these are mostly through text. Sound has also been improved using the virtual audio developed by Q-Sound, offering an audio experience similar to early 3D audio systems. Now that we've gone over everything else, it's time we discuss the endings of these games. So here's your spoiler warning. There are multiple endings in each game, based on which character you play as. However, in the Power Fighters, there are special co-op endings, depending on the characters you use in the game.
In Mega Man The Power Battle, Mega Man's ending is fairly typical, with him going to the lab and reuniting with his pals. Pro Man's ending is a dump of a backstory where he leans against a wall looking over the city like the cool boy he is. I'm such a cool boy! Finally, for Bass's ending, it shows him saving Dr. Wily from the destroyed island. Then they argue over who is the strongest robot, while Wily hints that his next creation will be even stronger than Bass before Bass ditches him. As for Mega Man 2, The Power Fighters, the endings are a little more complex. Mega Man's ending has Dr. Wily stating that Mega Man is no better than him as he causes just as much destruction by fighting robots, and Mega Man wondering if Wily's right considering how Mega Man 7's ending went. Luckily, Mega Man's friends come to cheer him up, so conflict resolved, I guess? Yeah. Proto Man's ending is another attempt at Light to, quote-unquote, irks him, and Proto Man refuses, saying he's fine with his defects. Who knows? Maybe even some defects might come in useful sometime?
Duo's ending is Dr. Light thanking him for his help, and then Duo leaving with the rest of the Evo energy, tying this game into Mega Man 8. Finally, there's Bass's endings, which has Wily and Bass once again arguing who is the strongest, with Wily finally unveiling his secret project, and if it's not obvious, it's Zero from the X series. That's right, this game ties into the story of games further in the timeline. The canonicity of this ending has been debated, but with it recently coming out that Capcom planned to transition the original series to the X series, I'm going to say this is as much proof as we need that there were in fact plans for the stories to be connected. Now for the co-op endings. Duel's co-op endings are practically the same as his solo one, with a few added scenes. Not much to say. This is also the case with Mega Man's endings, except the ending with Bass where the two of them get into a brawl to settle the score. Finally, Bass and Proto Man's ending has the two arguing over why Bass can't defeat Mega Man. So what's our thoughts on these games? Personally, I think they're great additions to the Mega Man franchise. They're both really fun to play, especially in co-op. The presentation is a real treat with updated graphics and sound, with the exception of reused sprites from Mega Man 7. While the continuity of the story is debatable, it adds to the rich lore of the series, answering questions that needed answering. In my opinion, you can't go wrong spending an hour or so experiencing these games. Both are worth your time, but Mega Man 2 The Power Fighters is my personal favorite of the two.
I consider Mega Man 2 The Power Fighters to be a better game, but these two games are a quick pick 'em up and play, especially if you're having a very bad day. If you can somehow legit find the arcade cabinets for both of them in a local arcade, give it a go, or if you can somehow find a copy of Mega Man Anniversary Collection, do that.
I mean, I own all three versions, so it can't be that hard to find. Though I can't find my GameCube version. But that's fine, because it's terrible.
Well, not all of us is fucking rich like you.
Oh yeah, I guess you gotta save money to fix your roof.
And my Gundam!
Do you really need that?
Dude, how else am I gonna get around?
Why not get a car?
How about this? Fuck off!
Oh, typical Oni. I'm just surprised I didn't have to mention Hulk Hogan this time.
You son of a bitch!
Oh shit! C-Saber!
Damn it. Looks like I'm gonna have to get a new apartment too.
What? It's not my fault this time.